Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. It is currently the 10th of July, 2014. We are still watching Typhoon Naogori, actually severe tropical storm Naogori, pulling off and bringing some heavy precipitation across Japan. And this really has been the topic for the past week, and it deserves to still be the main topic out here. This storm system is resulting in flooding and landslides in parts of Shikoku, Kyushu, also combining with the rainy season front off farther towards north into Nagano Prefecture, resulting in one death, and numerous homes have been destroyed due to flooding out there. We have another video update. I covered that in detail, but in this update, we're looking ahead in the forecast, and this is something that we still do here at WesternPacificWeather.com. We're not going to cover just the active storm system, but watching a few other things going on out here across the Western Pacific. Another reason is a lot of my counterparts here in the internet world, as far as the forecasting out here, really watching this one closely, and I've already been putting out a lot of products, so we have been getting a lot of questions about, well, let's call it Invest 92W. It is this low pressure area way out here just towards the southeast of Guam, and it has gathered some rotation and some convection in the past 24 hours alone here. Let's zoom right in on this picture, and what we can see is, at least at this time, this storm system fairly well circulating. But the thing that this is lacking compared to Naogori is widespread convection, and we have some rotation off towards the north, some inflow down towards the south, but the moisture is not as abundant. Plus, Naogori just moved through this area. It stirred up the seas, so we're seeing a little bit lower as far as the sea surface temperatures. It's still very conducive for tropical development, but it's not that hot tub type of SSTs that we are seeing across much of this area as we saw with Naogori. It's still something to watch, and it's still something I think going through the coming days you could see a possibility of this impacting some land areas. Now, first and foremost, I think it is going to be having a significant or possible impact on Guam and basically the Mariana Islands, as we do see this track off there towards the north and then towards the west. At this time, we do have it as a moderate risk of development here at WesternPacificWeather.com. I know JTWC has put it up to a medium this morning as well. Still not quite a TCFA, but they do say that there is that medium risk of development in the next 24 hours. So here's Guam, the Mariana Islands. This is going to track there towards the northwest. Could bring some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall out here. Actually, Naogori even brought some fairly large waves to the coastlines, and that is why there was marine warnings issued as it passed down towards the south. I think similar conditions coming out of this new low could be seen out there across much of Guam and extending over there towards Saipan, especially along the southern and eastern coastlines as this does push by. Well, where is it going to be going? Well, we do have the Westpac High farther off here towards the north. And really, a lot of the same dynamics are in play that were in play for Naogori. And then this could just basically track off there towards the west along the western periphery of the Westpac High. So is this going to develop into something significant? Well, at least at this time, we're still in genesis phase of this storm system. And what I mean by that, it's still organizing. It's still trying to gather that defined center of circulation. So the really place an exact track and exact intensity at this time, I think, is going to be a little bit premature, especially since we're not getting model consensus on this. And I like to use my own analysis, but I like to get the model consensus as well before I start jumping in on if a storm system is going to be fully developing or not. And at least at this time, the Japan Meteorological Agency is still not fully convinced. They have it as a low pressure area, and then we get into our model outlooks. And I'll show you this one first. Let's take a look at the GFS model outlook. Right now we have our Naogori off here towards the north. Here's our low pressure area farther down towards the south. It starts to develop. This has been the aggressive model, and if you are going to be seeing anything, at least here when I'm making this update on Thursday, showing a developing storm system, they're probably showing you the GFS model. If they show it to you, you should probably ask, which one is this? Because this one is the aggressive by far of all the other ones. And look at that, it shows the storm system developing, pushing off there towards basically somewhere just towards the northeast of Luzon, Taiwan, or possibly again into the southern Japanese islands. You can see right here, actually, here's our GFS outlook heading over through basically Wednesday of next week. So this is still a week out. And look at the 18 UTC run. This is still a week out, and it has our storm system pushing off there just east of Luzon Strait as a powerful storm. Now, that is just one model outlook. I like to get model consensus before we start saying stuff. This is why, though, I am putting out this update, and I am saying, hey, we need to watch this closely, because let's go ahead and switch this from the GFS over towards the ECMWF model. Where did our storm system go? It fell off. It's gone now. We have a weak low pressure area somewhere around Luzon. This still could bring some heavy rainfall if that was to follow through. It's still a week out. Meanwhile, let's go back to this run. This was our GFS run. Switch it up to the NavGem. I'll get out of the way here so you can see this a little bit more clear. Switch it up to the NavGem. This is the U.S. military model. Where is it? It's somewhere in here. Actually, we can pull up the 10-meter high winds, and let's see if we can find it a little bit better here with the NavGem model. And yeah, there it is. It's producing about 10 to 15 knot winds at the end of the run. The huge difference between that and our friends at the GFS. So GFS, as I've said in the past, it is very, very good at picking up the development of a storm system. Probably something's going to form if GFS says so. But in their long range, before genesis occurs, they are absolutely horrible at peaking out on intensity. If this was the follow through, I honestly at this time would be surprised. But I've been wrong in the past. I just want to put a lot of that information out there for you. If you do see this type of run posted on the internet, don't get panicked at this time. But you do need to watch it, and you do need to stay tuned, and do need to continue to follow through and check back in here at westernpacificweather.com on more information as this does develop. I think over the weekend, by Friday, Saturday, we're going to have a much clearer picture. If this is going to follow through like that, I'll let you know. If not, well, good news, and hopefully the NavGem output and the ECMW alpha outputs are more in line of what is going to be happening. Fingers crossed we don't need another storm system out here, especially for the southern Japanese islands. The Philippines, if a storm system of that magnitude hits, it always causes damage, and that definitely would not be very well welcomed at all. I mean, one more image I want to show you here. This is actually the consensus, and you can see CMC, NOGAPS, and GFS, and it's just the red lines that are showing a development here. So just some stuff. All right, guys, stay safe out there, and thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com.